The basis for Democratic campaigns has become, we're the smart people. That we know from the get-go. No need to look into that. We know that a priori, which is a Latin phrase the red hat people wouldn't have a clue about. Democrats have been having a lot of donor retreats lately where liberal strategists hold ideathons, where they try to figure out why they keep losing elections. You know, apart from using words like ideathon.
Maher delivered a message that many Democrats have avoided saying out loud, and he took his criticism further than most people expected. He spoke without hesitation, and this time the numbers and reporting from CNN, Gallup, and the Wall Street Journal supported the points he was making. Before we continue, if you enjoy quick commentary videos with clear and detailed analysis, don't forget to subscribe. Now let's jump into the story.
And finally, new rule Democrats who 1 year from now will be licking their wounds and asking themselves how they could have lost the midterms so badly must instead ask themselves that question now. Now. You know, now. Like, while there's still time to do something about it. A couple of weeks ago, Amy Klobuchar was here, and when I suggested the Democrats need a messaging czar, she offered me the job. Well, you need a messaging czar in your party.
And do you think it should be you?
Amy, I'm flattered. But after careful consideration, I must decline. The hours it would take me away from home would make it very difficult on my family. But I will tonight once again break out my coach hat and try to point the Democrats in the right direction. That's all I can do. Point you in the right direction. I'm like Deep Throat. Because the way this party is running for office is making me. Now, I know liberals think this country is full of dumb white people, but in our democracy, dumb white people make up a substantial portion of the vote.
Maher argued that Democrats don't just need a new spokesperson, they need a message that resonates with voters. He pointed to recent polling showing historically low approval for the party, with CNN, Gallup, and the Wall Street Journal, highlighting declining public confidence. His conclusion was that the party's biggest obstacle comes from its own internal challenges, not its political opponents.
This for Democratic campaigns has become, we're the smart people. That we know from the get-go. No need to look into that. We know that a priori, which is a Latin phrase the red hat people wouldn't have a clue about. But they don't need to. Have you seen my "In this house we believe" lawn sign? See, it says right on it, we believe in science. Right, which is why you demanded no one even debate whether COVID could have escaped from the one lab in the one city where they were studying it. How far-fetched.
Maher argued that acting intellectually superior has hurt Democrats with many voters. He said people don't respond well to being lectured instead of heard, especially working-class Americans. Critics believe this image has damaged the party's appeal. Maher's message was clear. Campaigns succeed by listening to voters, not by assuming they already know what's best for them.
Democrats run for office as if the voters don't live here, as if they don't go to the grocery store and Starbucks and the office, but they do. They live here, and they actually see women and people of color, and it doesn't look like some patriarchal racist nightmare. Do problems remain pertaining to racism? And of course, but a poll last year asked if America is the greatest country in the world. More Hispanic Americans agreed with that than the white progressives. It asked if racism is built into our society. White progressives agreed with that at higher levels than and Hispanic people. It asked if government should increase border security. Same result. Hispanic Americans are less okay with illegal immigration than whitey. The votes are in. They don't want your pity. People can't afford to indulge rich white people's need to endlessly flagellate themselves. They just want prices to go down and good jobs and the police when you call them. People, they're just like us. Kamala spent 100 days telling voters, I know it feels like crime and illegal immigration are bad, but your feelings, look at this chart. Yes, there's a lot to not like already about the new regime, but maybe take 1 week to ask what you did wrong
Maher argued that Democrats have ignored a reality many voters see every day. People judge the country through their own experiences, not political messaging. He pointed to Financial Times, reporting showing Democrats losing minority support while Republicans gained ground in 2024, especially among Hispanic voters. His conclusion was simple. Voters want practical solutions, not political lectures.
Outdated racial pandering is one reason Democrats lose elections. When Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi put on kente cloth, I don't think it earned them one vote for their powerful emotional ties to Ghana. Here in California, we're now segregating kidnapping. Really, California doesn't just have Amber Alerts for missing children. We have Ebony Alerts for children and Feather Alerts for Native American kids. What is that? We look for them by listening on the ground?
Maher argued that symbolic political gestures cannot replace genuine connections with voters. He pointed to highly publicized moments involving party leaders as examples critics viewed as performative rather than meaningful. His broader point was that reducing people to identity groups instead of addressing real concerns can come across as patronizing. Maher then turned to polling data to argue that this strategy has produced disappointing political results.
Democrats are hemorrhaging the very voters they think they're pandering to. The Financial Times writes, Democrats are going backwards faster with voters of color than any other demographic, and suggests the reason is that a less racially divided America is an America where people vote more based on their beliefs than their identity. Exactly. Far-left liberals are living in an old paradigm. Americans don't fit into neat little boxes anymore. Who has the #1 country song right now? Beyonce. Lil Nas X won a country music award, and he's and a brand ambassador for the waspiest purse in America, Coach. The biggest news star in country is Jelly Roll, who was a drug dealer, then a prisoner, then a rapper, and then a face-tatted country music star. Not to mention a giant middle finger to the idea of staying in your own lane. No. In America now, you're allowed to be many things all at once.
Maher argued that identity-focused politics is becoming less effective as voter priorities continue to change. Citing Financial Times. Reporting on shifting minority voter support, he said, Americans increasingly reject being defined by political labels. He pointed to today's diverse country music landscape as evidence that culture is evolving beyond traditional categories, warning Democrats that these changing attitudes should not be ignored.
Democrats have been having a lot of donor retreats lately where liberal strategists hold ideathons, where they try to figure out why they keep losing elections. You know, apart from using words like ideathon. And now one idea that's getting a lot of attention is the Dems need to find their Joe Rogan, a liberal Joe Rogan, because that's why Kamala lost. Republicans have a podcast. Okay, maybe. Or you could consider this. Instead of conjuring up a new Joe Rogan, ask yourself why you lost the old one. Because he used to be on your side. He smokes pot on the air. I don't think he's that much of a far-right ideologue. I don't think his mind is completely inflexible. His neck, yes. But not his mind. And he's expressed unease with some things Trump is doing, as has a certain disgruntled former employee named Elon Musk, who, like Joe, is another guy who 5 years ago was thought of as a liberal, but got driven into the other camp by bad attitudes and bad ideas.
Maher pointed to Joe Rogan as a symbol of voters Democrats have lost over time. He argued the party didn't lose support because of stronger opposition, but because many people felt dismissed over their interests, humor, and opinions. Critics say trying to manufacture a replacement misses the larger issue. They already had that audience and pushed it away.
First of all, I completely understand, although I would never emulate. I also see the woke mind virus. I just don't jump from frying pans into fires. But I watched the evolution of both these guys. This didn't happen overnight. In 2022, before he owned Twitter, Elon tweeted this chart. depicting how he felt about the liberal side having shifted so much that it left a basically liberal centrist like him now labeled a conservative. I related. I related to the kind of mean girl shit you get from the cool kids in Wokeville when you're perceived that way. They tried real hard to cancel Rogan a few years ago. And when Elon hosted Saturday Night Live in 2021, well before he was a Trumper, some of the cast members gave him the cold shoulder for the sin of being rich. You think people don't remember when you do this shit to them? That it's not going to have blowback? Now me, again, you don't have to win me back because I never left. But all the guys in America like Joe and Elon, yeah, you do have to win them back. The good news is you can.
Maher argued that figures like Joe Rogan weren't pushed away by conservatives, but by what he sees as the rigid culture of the modern left. He said constant criticism, ideological pressure, and demands for conformity have driven away influential voices. In his view, Democrats continue repeating the same mistake, turning away potential allies instead of welcoming them.
Democrats must stand up to Twitter. Catering to one contrived outrage after another makes us look weak. Just because woke babe 99 gets mad at you doesn't mean the rest of America gives a crap. It's great you're gender fluid, but most of America thinks gender fluid is what comes out during a wet dream. And for God's sake, stop apologizing for everything. I know more about what Democratic candidates have apologized for than I know their stance on the issues. 4, I want all Democrats to memorize these 2 words: message discipline. Republicans win for 2 reasons: teamwork and cheating. And they are really good at both. Democrats snipe and bitch at each other. They're like that couple that's divorcing, but they came to the dinner party anyway. Not Republicans. And that is something else I have tried to impress upon the candidates.
Maher said Democrats need to focus on one priority before the next election: message discipline. He argued Republicans often present a united front, while Democrats frequently criticize one another in public. According to Maher, too many party leaders allow online backlash to shape their decisions, abandoning common-sense positions instead of standing behind them with confidence.